All right, what is shaking? After our summer newsletter went out a couple weeks ago, I've been meaning to do a little bit of follow-up, specifically on our release schedule. In that newsletter, as many of you may have seen, we are going to be adjusting our release schedule a little bit for some of our wines in the MTGA lineup. And I wanted to go over that in a little bit more detail because it is going to cause a little bit of moving and shaking, both for how long we're aging these wines, when they're going to be headed your way, and we wanted to make sure that you know what to expect, especially for those of you in our wine club or for those of you that are looking to get your hand on some of our smaller releases. Be sure to take note of some of these new release dates that we're going to have coming up. Now, I'm going to try and cover this as coherently and as completely as I can, but if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email at mike@mtgawines.com and you'll be able to get a hold of me. Also, if you have some MTGA wine laying around the house, my cell phone number is on the back of the bottle, so you can just shoot me a quick text if you have any questions as well. Now, to get started, I do want to talk about our single barrel program because we have 2 new single barrel wines that are going to be coming out relatively soon. And on top of that, as many of you know, we've been releasing our single barrel Merlot in the fall, generally that first week of October. However, that Merlot in particular, we're finding over the last couple of years, it's just really damn good a little sooner rather than later. So what we want to try and do is get that wine to you a little sooner rather than later. So what we're going to be doing for all of our single barrel wines moving forward is releasing them in February, and that will take effect in 2021. This February, that's just a few short months away, believe it or not, we're going to be moving our single barrel release to that date. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a shortened window with that Merlot in particular because we want to make sure we get that 2017 release to you when it's ready to go. And we've already been getting close to that 1-year aging time in bottle on that. So that is still going to be released in the fall, and we're going to follow that up with the 2018 release in February. So we're going to close that window a little bit, so you're going to have plenty of awesome single barrel Merlot to go around. But once we hit that February mark in 2021, it's going to be another full year before you see another release of that single barrel Merlot. So you have plenty of time to go through your depletions a little bit and enjoy those wines before we get to that 2019 release down the road. Now, those other 2 single barrel wines that I'm talking about are our single barrel Pinot Noir, which we're going to be bottling up in about a month and a half. It'll be our first ever single barrel Pinot, and we're super stoked to add that to that February shipment as well. Be sure to keep an eye out for the pre-order notice. We're going to be sending that out this fall, shortly after our fall release. So just keep an eye on your email. We're going to be trying to let you know as best we can. And as is tradition with any of our single barrel projects, there's going to be maybe about 20 to 23 cases to go around. On top of that, we have some Cabernet Franc that's waiting in the wings, and that's going to be coming out in February 2022. So we're looking way off into the distance for this one, but that'll be another wine that we're going to add to that February shipment once it's ready to rock and roll. Based on how it's tasting right now, we are expecting it's going to take that extra 1.5 years or so to really get it where we want it to be, but we are so excited and looking forward to adding that new variety and something just fun and different to the lineup. So all of our single barrel releases starting in 2021 and beyond will start to be released in February, and we'll play that little bit of catch up between the Merlot in particular this fall and into the new year as well. Now, the other wine that we've been really fine-tuning over the last few years has been our Bennett Valley Pinot Noir, kind of our staple Pinot that we've had in the lineup since 2015. This is a wine that is, as I've described to many of you, is delightfully painful to make because it is just so finicky. Pinot can be such a finicky variety to work with, and it really keeps you guessing. But what we found over the last 2 years in particular is that right about this time, it's tasting incredibly well. These summer months really allow it to shine for whatever reason, and what we want to do is bottle it a little bit sooner. Because we had been extending that barrel aging for upwards of about 16 to 17 months, and what we want to do is dial that back to about 11 to 12 months, give or take. So that means we're going to have that Pinot Noir ready to go sooner rather than later. Now, this will probably be the biggest change because we're going to be moving that release of the Pinot Noir from our normal spring shipment to our fall shipment. So that is in essence going to take the place of that single barrel Merlot each fall to make sure that we have 3 wines available in the fall season as we're getting ready for the holidays and all that good stuff. So Very similar to the single barrel Merlot, next year we're going to have 2 releases of Pinot Noir. We're going to be releasing our 2018 vintage in the spring, and then we're going to follow that up with the 2019 vintage in the fall. It's going to, again, kind of shorten up that window just so we can play a little bit of catch up and get onto that new release schedule. But after that fall release, it'll be another full year before you receive that Pinot once again. So you'll have, once again, plenty of time to work through your depletions a little bit, enjoy a bunch of great Pinot Noir before we get to that next fall release. All of the other wines are going to be remaining the same. In our February shipment, we will have the archives, all of our older vintages and library wines available. That will continue to be released in February with those single barrel wines. In the spring, it's going to go down to 2 wines. We're only have 2 wines available in the spring. That's going to be our dry Riesling as well as the Repechage red blend, our new Bordeaux blend that we released this year for the first time. And then in the fall, moving forward, it'll be our Pinot Noir starting next year, our coveted Napa Valley Merlot, the flagship, as many of you have enjoyed over the years, and of course our Cabernet Sauvignon. That'll be released continue to be released in the fall. So that's the new release schedule and kind of how we're making these adjustments. It's been a very large kind of chess match that we've been playing with over the last couple of years to really make sure that we're dialing in this release schedule. Again, 1, to make sure that these wines are kind of at their peak performance when we release them, and 2, to make sure that we kind of spread the love throughout the year. That way you have some awesome wine to enjoy every season, basically. So I know that was a lot of information to take in. Once again, if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. Again, my direct email is mike@mtgawines.com. You can also shoot us a quick note through the form on our website if you have any questions, or contact us on any of our social media outlets on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook @MTGA Wines. We'll be sure to follow up with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Super excited to get some of these new wines to you and get these releases dialed in so that we're getting these wines to your door when they are showing their best. And thank you as always for the amazing support.